So Joe Barry has taken a lot of heat this week in regards to his play calling, especially on the final series of the drive against the Giants, where they moved the ball down the field and were able to kick a field goal to win the game against the Packers on Monday night. And Joe Barry just had a press conference, and I want to share a few things he had to say regarding this game. And so one of the key questions in this press conference was asked by one of the reporters. I'm not sure who exactly it was, but they asked whether it was Carrington Valentine who had decided to line up a certain amount back on that play far off. I think it was the third play of that series, or if it was the call, because yesterday Matt LaFleur had said that shouldn't have happened, and he wouldn't give an answer as to whether it was the player or Joe Barry himself. But Joe Barry clarified that, and here it is from Rob Demovsky, who says, Packers DC Joe Barry on why Carrington Valentine was playing so far off Darius Slayton on the final drive. The hardest position to get the call during a 2-minute situation is the cornerback on the far side of the field, and CV didn't get the call. So apparently on that third play, Carrington Valentine was lining up very far off the line of scrimmage, and apparently, according to Joe Barry, that was not the call. Somehow, I guess Carrington Valentine did not get the call because he was on the other side of the field. And so I had assumed that it was Joe Barry's call, at least on that play. I was wrong about that. Apparently, Valentine did not get the call. Joe Barry said that because he didn't get the call, Valentine just stayed back just to be safe, and that's exactly why that happened. He also goes on here from Demovsky. Barry said, given that, Valentine did the right thing to make sure he didn't give up a big play. It went for a 9-yard gain, but Barry said it's his job to make sure from an educational standpoint that doesn't happen again. But in my mind, if you look at the two previous plays, I know Matt LaFleur had said he was most upset with the third play, but those first two plays as well, they're playing some pretty soft coverage in that instance as well. I think the third play, it was just a little bit deeper because apparently Valentine did not hear the call. But still, I think regardless, I just don't love that defense called there in the final series of that game. Just not being very aggressive when it comes to that against Tommy DeVito on the final series of the game. And then here we have a little bit more from the press conference. Ryan Wood says this: Joe Barry on Packers' inability to sack Tommy DeVito. That was frustrating. It really was. He doesn't know why they didn't. Felt D front had rushed really well 3 or 4 weeks leading into game. Just didn't translate. I never would have thought that would have been an issue. So the Packers, we all saw that. They were not able to stop Tommy DeVito. He had 10 carries, 71 yards. And Barry, I guess, doesn't know why they weren't able to stop DeVito. And then here we have from Ryan Wood, who says, Packers DC Joe Barry on trying to find consistency with his defense. When we consistently play with 11 guys as one, we've proven we can play with anybody in this league. When one guy's off, when another guy's off, it kills you. And that is another thing Matt LaFleur talked about yesterday, where you need all 11 guys doing their assignments. And Matt LaFleur had noted that there were many plays where there was 1 or 2 guys off not doing what they should do. And when that happens, then clearly you're not going to find success in that situation. So it's unfortunate to see the Packers defense take a big step back after having some pretty good performances against the Chiefs, against the Lions. And that was the Packers' 4th game allowing 200-plus yards, still one of the worst running defenses in the NFL. And, going forward, the question is, can the Packers get back on track? Will Joe Barry be able to lead this defense to find success against some of these teams that don't have winning records at the moment, like the Buccaneers, Panthers, or are we going to see more of this going forward in the future? But that is the most recent update from Joe Barry, what he had to say. And if you would like more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below.